Yeah, I've talked about how copywriting has really allowed me to sell more online. And I think it's probably, the number one skill that it's going to allow people to sell online just because it is the way to sell, right? Like traditionally there were salesmen that would do all the selling for you. And then now there's so many things online that you need to learn how to sell in a different format. So basically it's the digital salesman. But what I see a lot of people doing wrong, which actually can relate directly to salesmen in person, is that they will overhype and oversell products and services on their sales pages because they want to convince people to buy the product or service. And really, when you do that and if you follow some of these guys, like for example, like Russell Brunson or Todd Brown, and if you looked at some of their sales pages and seen how they hype people up, and particularly like throw in like they throw in a lot of stuff to make the offer so enticing, and then they also do like money back guarantees and stuff like that. And there is a place for that. I'm not knocking these guys. Obviously what they've done is has made them very successful, but what you'll notice as someone who's starting out selling products online is if you do a lot of this stuff, you're going to get a lot of people that sign up that are sort of undesirable. And these are people that will come in with like super high expectations and unrealistic expectations, and they'll be disappointed when your products or services don't match those expectations. The argument could be made like, oh, well, your product should be so good that it matches their expectations. But the thing is that like when you oversell, no matter what, you're going to like kind of under deliver because like nothing's that good, right? And that's the problem, is people oversell that much to make it seem like so life-changing or so freaking incredible, but like nothing's that good, right? And for the average person who does get sort of duped by this high energy, overhyped sales page, for that person, they're like the type of person that gets super disappointed over something that doesn't work at the click of a button. So they're not even willing to like work for the result that you're pitching them, essentially, right? So the point is to be very careful about how you sell your products and who you want to attract with that page that you're using to sell, right? And so in the past, I've gone and overhyped stuff, and I've gone down that route, and I've seen what happens, and it causes returns and stuff like. But the theory is really this: overhype as much as possible and sell as much as possible, because the percentage of people that return or complain will be smaller than and it will be worth it because you'll convert so many more people, right? And while I understand that from a numbers standpoint, that thinking is something you want to stay away from. So it's cool to like figure out how to do copywriting and figure out how to overhype and oversell and get those first sales and like really like learn and practice with these methods. But once you start becoming more skilled, you'll realize that you don't have to do that, and you can still get good conversions and get better people into your funnel or into your ecosystem. And in fact, now that I'm so well practiced, I know how to push people's buttons and how to get the wrong people to leave and the right people to stay and purchase. And now I do a lot of flushing out of getting rid of the wrong people, right? So I don't overhype. In fact, a lot of times now what I'll do is I'll say things to make people go away. So for example, if I'm selling a product for like $80, and I say, look, if $80 is stressing you out, like leave. If the thought of spending $80 on something like this is stressing you out, or you're already thinking about what if you don't like it and what the refund policy might be, then bounce, leave, because you're not the type of person that's like right for this product anyways. And by saying stuff like that, I'm making sure that those people who just want to buy it and see what it looks like because they know they're going to return it immediately are leaving. Or I'm making sure that the person who is stressed out about spending $80 doesn't have like unrealistic expectations of what the product's going to do. And I'm saying, look, if spending $80 on this is going to stress you out or is too much, don't fucking buy it. I don't want you to buy it, because that's the type of person that's going to buy it and then a month later be like, I was going over the material and I realized this isn't for me, right? So as I've grown in my abilities, I've learned how to craft messaging that really attracts my ideal customer, no matter what I'm selling. And by doing that, I've found that I'm actually increasing conversion rates and getting a better quality customer and reducing complaints and reducing refunds and stuff like that. And on all my sales pages now, I have a strict no refund policy, and I say it up front. So I get rid of all these, what they call tire kickers in the marketing world, by speaking forwardly to the people who are coming to my page. Now, there's a side benefit to this, because as you know, I run ads, and when running ads, the algorithm, for example, Meta's algorithm and machine learning, they send people to your page and they see who buys it and they see, who doesn't buy it. And based on the people who purchase and interact with your page, they create an audience and they start serving it to more people like that who are more likely to purchase, right? So if I send a bunch of people to the page and a bunch of people leave that I don't want and a bunch of people buy that I do want, then the advertising platform, Meta in this example, is going to go out and find more of the people that I do want, and it's going to stay away from the people that I don't want. So by crafting my messaging perfectly to the people that I do want, I'm avoiding all those other people in two ways, by deterring them on the sales page, but also by training the algorithms to not even go after that type of person that I do not want. So as you think about your products and services, my advice would be, number one, be as genuine as possible and be as straight up as possible in your copywriting. Tell them what it is, how it's going to benefit them, obviously get them excited about buying the product and build the value in your product or service, but also be realistic and say, hey, if you're this type of person, bounce. And if you're going to do this, bounce. And there's no refunds, or there's no this or no that. Whatever your boundaries are, set them in your copywriting, and people will read that and also respect it. Someone might come through and really be like, whoa, okay, this is serious. Like, I'm either buying this and committing or not. And there's no room for like wishy-washy attitudes around here. So try that out, be authentic and straightforward, and then combine that with some of the other, copywriting techniques that you might find or might currently be doing. And I think you're gonna have a lot more success with your sales pages.